Every century, the sky above the world crackled with energy as the storm gods gathered to perform the sacred ritual of renewal. Thunder rolled and lightning streaked across the heavens in a mesmerizing dance of power, replenishing the earth with fresh energy. The cycle was old as time, and each god had their role. At the heart of it all was Aeron, the god of clear skies and stillness, whose role was to balance the storms, providing moments of calm amid the chaos. But this century, something was wrong. The ritual, usually so harmonious, had turned chaotic. The skies were no longer a dance of thunder and lightning, but a battleground of uncontrollable storms. Fierce winds howled through cities, and lightning struck indiscriminately, setting forests and fields ablaze. As Aeron watched the devastation below, he realized the reason. The ritual was incomplete. One of the storm gods was missing. Zephros, the god of thunder and lightning, was nowhere to be found. Without him, the sacred renewal could not be finished, and the storms ran wild. Aeron, whose power allowed him to communicate with other gods, even when they were hidden from the world, knew it fell upon him to find Zephros and bring him back before the storms tore the world apart. Determined to set things right, Aeron descended from the heavens and began his search. His heart was heavy with the weight of responsibility. The other gods looked to him to restore balance, but Zephros had always been elusive, more unpredictable than the storms he controlled. Aeron had little time, and the world below suffered for every minute the storms raged. As Aeron's search led him across the vast mountains and oceans, he followed the faint connection he shared with Zephros. It led him to an isolated shack in the middle of a desolate valley, far from where any god should reside. The shack was small, crumbling, barely a shelter for a mortal, let alone a deity of storms. Yet as Aeron approached, he felt Zephros' presence inside. Aeron entered the shack cautiously, the air thick with a sense of abandonment. Inside, Zephros sat by a dim fire, his once brilliant form dulled and weary. The god of thunder looked nothing like the powerful force of nature Aeron had known for centuries. His golden eyes, which had once sparked with lightning, were tired, as though the storms he had once commanded had drained him entirely. "I knew you'd come," Zephros said quietly, not turning to face Aeron. His voice was low, filled with sorrow. "But it doesn't matter. The world will survive without me." Aeron stood in the doorway, trying to understand what had happened. "Zephros, the storms are out of control. The ritual, without you, it's incomplete. The world is being torn apart." Zephros sighed, his hands resting on his knees. "I've seen what our storms bring. Destruction, fear, chaos. What good is it? What meaning is there in an endless cycle of ruin?" Aeron felt a pang of sympathy. He had always known Zephros to be restless, never content with his role, but he had never heard him speak like this. The storms are destructive, yes, but they bring renewal. After the storm, the land is refreshed, the air is clear, and life thrives. That's why we perform the ritual. Zephros shook his head. "I've watched the mortals, Aeron. They curse us, they curse the storms. I see no beauty in their fear." Aeron stepped closer, kneeling beside his fallen companion. "There is beauty, Zephros. The storms may cause damage, but they are a necessary part of life. The fields need rain, the rivers need water, and the sky needs to release its energy. Without the storm, there is no calm. Without destruction, there is no renewal." Zephros seemed unmoved, his gaze distant. "But is it worth the pain we cause? I've lost sight of the meaning." Aeron knew he had to reach Zephros before the world below fell into complete ruin. "Zephros, you've forgotten the balance. Storms bring devastation, but they also make way for life. Without the cleansing of the storm, the world will wither. You must remember the beauty that comes after." Zephros remained silent, and Aeron's heart sank. He searched for the right words. Then he remembered something the oracle had once told him. The mortals, they may fear the storm, but they also cherish what comes after. The flowers that bloom after the rain, the fresh air, the clear skies. They learn to appreciate beauty because they have endured the storm. The word seemed to spark something in Zephros. He glanced at Aeron, the faintest flicker of lightning returning to his eyes. "They cherish the beauty because of the storm?" "Yes," Aeron said, hopeful. "The cycle we create isn't meaningless. It reminds them of what matters most. The storms remind them to cherish peace, to nurture the life that grows after the rains. You're part of that. Without your storms, they would forget." Zephros sat quietly for a long moment, considering Aeron's words. Slowly he stood, his own dim form starting to glow with renewed energy. Perhaps I had been blind to the purpose we serve. I thought my power was a curse, but I see now. It's a gift. Aeron smiled, relief flooding through him. The world needs you, Zephros. The other gods are waiting. There is still time to finish the ritual. With a deep breath, Zephros extended his hand, and lightning crackled across his skin once more. The storm god's power returned in full force, the winds and thunder under his command. "Let's go," he said, determination in his voice. Together Aeron and Zephros ascended into the sky where the other storm gods awaited. The balance of the world was restored as the ritual was completed and the storms calmed, leaving behind renewed life, fresh air, and the peace that only comes after chaos. In the heavens the storm gods danced once more, united in their purpose, bringing both beauty and renewal to the world below.